Good morning, everybody. Yesterday's one, what we have discussed was a history on the chart again, because it was a proof. Nifty made a proof against the behavior research what we have made. The proof how it has created, the evidence how it has behaved, that can be seen now initially before we are discussing the pre-market outlook and all. For that, we just need to share the Nifty chart and where we can see how the behavior went off. See, while discussing the pre-market and based on the review and the preview of the previous sessions and all, we have stated the information about the 22nd April's low that should be at least attained by the Nifty to see a favorable movement for the further upward trend and all. Like the 22nd April's low was 24,352. This was many times discussed, including yesterday's session. You just look at the trend, what it has witnessed and how it has behaved like for the Nifty yesterday. The high that can actually make you all understand how the behavioral research is working on. The high 24,334, just short of less than 20 points to the low point of 24,352. It got rejected, even though yesterday's one was unusual positivity because of the new expiry beginning that was happened in yesterday's one, so that the positivity somewhat maintained in the earlier trend, but it could not stable and it could not stay above the levels how it has gained in the earlier morning. So the gains and all got vanished, and through the rejection it has got here just 20 below points of resistance. While it is feeling and get rejected there, it has fallen from 24,334 to the close. What happened? It was almost just above the point of 24,100. So that almost 150 points of correction through the way of rejection it is getting means that is not in a bigger time frame. Within a few hours it has get vanished or gave up all the gains it has experienced in the forenoon. That means what? Within that short span of time period, through the way of rejection, the behavior is acting to came back to the previous support zones and all means. So that is what the behavior telling. It could not move upside until otherwise it is giving the confirmation consecutive closing above the 22nd April's low point. More than that at all, it should decisively break and close about 22nd April's high point. Then only the bullish trend will get resumed. Until then, every rise, as we have been suggesting and insisting, the point of sell on rise will be acting forever. If the sell on rise is being continued, one can utilize the higher bounces or the movement near to the immediate resistance till the major resistance to build the short positions or to trim your existing long positions or holdings you are having. That is what the simple and powerful advice one can have from our behavioral research. So that was happened in yesterday's trend, the clear proof for the behavioral research, how it has acted against the 22nd April's low point. And if it is in the current session as a final day today for the week and final day for the month also for the April. So this day, if the close happens below 24,070 as a level, immediately acting as the support point. Probably the opening will be below to that point only, most probably happening. If this 24,070 is given up by the Nifty, the retesting of 23,800 will be having higher chances. There it will decide about moving below to that point or taking the support. So that should need a movement towards 23,800 as well as the time period, at least for today's one, we can have as an examination. So that is what the important thing we want to share. How it has got rejected around the zone is the major thing. As a proof, we want to show you all. This is one another proof for the behavioral research. So as discussed, again repeating the point, if the 24,070 as an immediate support zone getting broken means we can see the 23,900 step by step, 23,950, 900, 23,800 and all getting retested again based on the short buildups. So one can attempt building the shorts if the immediate movements and all after opening below the 24,070, giving the bounce towards 24,100 to 200. Between this 24,100 to 200 zone, one can have a strategy of building the shorts, buying the put options like, because it has now clearly proved that it could not sustain about 24,200 consecutively for 2 sessions. So that is what the thing one can understand and make your trading strategies as informed or as explained. Now we can discuss about the today's pre-market. As reported here in the pre-market outlook one, the earlier optimisms fade. Of course, this was the yesterday's behavior based one. The phrase is telling, though there was a clarity oriented, that was pretended to be a clarity oriented and stayed above the important resistance point of 24,200 for the initial hours, but it could not sustain above that point for a while and it gave up all the earlier gains by the way of selling pressure occurred at the highs. This is what the recent behavior telling. That's why we are keep insisting to apply wait and watch or sell on rise kind of activities. So that is the reason yesterday's one got rejected and given the close in a weak manner, even though the points and all in positive way. So today's one will be on the gap down manner. Almost 200 points of gap is expected on the lower side, which means what? The immediate support what we have pronounced 24,070 probably getting broken and will be seeking the next one around 23,950 and 23,900 zone for the first 1 or 2 hours. In case in the first 1 hour itself, if it is testing the 23,900 means the severity on the selling will get increased thereafter, then you can think of the 23,800 also may be easily breached by the Nifty. So where one can see the continued selling if happens, that is being considered based on the first 1 hour time frame. Because as we have discussed and revealed the matter that yesterday's one, the high and low will be detecting along with the previous one, 22nd April, that is clearly acting till now with high conviction and high proof it has provided. The next one, yesterday's one, that was the 29th of April's Wednesday's high and low will be acting as a trend setter for the next 1 or 2 weeks. That means till mid-May, one can see the trend may be getting impacted because of the 29th April's high and low. Prior to that, 22nd April's also can be merged with the strategy what you are going to apply. As long as it is trading below 22nd April low point and trading below 29th highs below, that one can see that conviction on the selling side is getting increasing, and the struggle what the Nifty is currently having will be continued, like one can decide, and you can think of taking the action on sell side or buying the put option side. If the yesterday's high not breached or not broken by the Nifty in the next two sessions, that means Monday and Tuesday, within these two sessions, if the Wednesday's high is not broken, this is also based on behavior that the chances for getting deeper into the next leg of rally that maybe get formed for the point of 23,700 to 23,350. Roundly, you can take it as 23,300. Between 23,700 to 23,300, the signal may be getting based on the movements of the Nifty. If it is not retesting the high of 29th April's one, it could not. That was 24,330. That zone should be breached within these 2 days, next Monday and Tuesday. If not, including today's one, it has failed to retest the Wednesday's high, so that based on the behavior, it will be probably happening the downward trend. For that, the 23,700 will be a starting point till 23,300 may be expected. But for that and all, it is very advanced. We are discussing and sharing the levels that can be observed closely, and then you can take the decision. For the day, it is very important. Based on high and low yesterday, it should not break the low or it should break the high to maintain the positive trend. Otherwise, yesterday's trend and all easily get revamped, and easily the selling activities may get accelerated in the way of breaking the low and breaking the 24,070 as a support and moving towards 23,900 within first hour. If happens, means 23,800 also today itself possibly may get approached. For all these things and all what we have discussed, it is very simple to understand the market. That is, sell on rise basis one can approach. The near resistance itself acting as the rejection zone for the Nifty. So the 24,100 to 24,200 can be treated as selling opportunity for the Nifty, and one can build the short positions or buying the put options. From the positional perspective, it is still insisted for the positional traders as the 22nd April's low and the newly joined 29th April's high. These two will be protecting the Nifty to move further up. So one can utilize sell on rise based on the levels of 29th April high point, and if it is getting breached 22nd April's low point, both are having a minor difference. Anyway, that should be get broken and closed at least in a daily basis for consecutive 2 days. Then only the conviction will increase. Otherwise, the rejection activities will be continuing only. For the sectors, one can focus the very sensitive sectors based on the crude oil's momentum, which was actually approached the first time ever at 120 plus dollar for the crude oil, recorded on US oil. So because of this movement, the hurry buying activities and the dramatical demand for the crude oil and all on the futures and option side will be getting increased. So the chance for oil and gas and energy sector oriented stocks feeling the heat of the crude oil price spike, as well as the OMCs that will feel the selling pressure because of this, expecting the further movement on the crude oil will be also there based on the renewed escalations on the US, Israel, Iran's war activities. After this oil and gas and energy, one can focus on FMCG side that has started acting yesterday itself, signaling that the market is going to fall like, and it has risen up. Whenever the FMCG as a sector and stocks under this are moving up means that probably that will be a signal for the markets are getting turned towards negative side. As like yesterday it has performed well and market turns negative today. Then the metal can be watched out and majority of the mining, steel oriented, then it is aluminum oriented stocks are expected to attract selling. Automobile, with the positive attempts it has made today, it is going to give up all the gains it has garnered, and probably the new short positions or new short buildups also seen on major stocks including Marutis. Then this bank and finance can be treated as a higher chances of, because if you noticed one thing, the bank sector yesterday it has somewhat participated. That means while Nifty is rising above 300 points, Bank Nifty just raised 600 points. And day before yesterday, while Nifty giving a rise about to over 200 points, even 300 points also touched. For that, the Bank Nifty not participated and traded negatively, which also treated as a signal for the lack of conviction by major sectors, including the heavyweighted one, bank and finance, was not there while the Nifty is inching up. Because of that particular activities, one can also get the sense about the Bank Nifty and financial services, which are all not participating in any trend, means there will be a huge clue or check for the ongoing trend that may happen opposite. That also happened. So today it probably getting participated on the downside with the Bajaj Finance and the Bajaj Finance Services result is going to announce today. Bajaj Finance already announced, and other than that, many bank and finance oriented results also coming up based on the announcements, based on the trend it has already shaped, formed. That and all will be weighing on the banking and finance oriented stocks. So in all over, the red carpet for the markets with the selling activities will be laid off, and because of that selling activities, one can see the higher level of caution that should be applied for every transactions you are going to do, even though it is a short positions, because the volatility may easily hit the stop losses based on the funding positions. If it is a bigger range for the target and the stop loss, may get a chance to make money. If you are a small trader or a safe trader, it may not allow you to get as much as the thing as you decide through the way of earning profit and all. May get difficulty to do that. So keeping stop loss will be anyhow important with a large range manner. Stock side, one can watch out these results oriented stocks that only actually listed here, starting with Bajaj Finance, Indian Bank, Federal Bank, Adani Power, Vari Energies, and Emphasis. So these are all the core stocks. Based on the announcements of their own results, one can approach these stocks for the day trading. Today's results include Bajaj Finance, Vedanta, Indian Bank. No, this is not correct. This is actually yesterday's one. As a result, we have mentioned the same actually here pasted. We apologize for the inconveniences caused in terms of results. We can provide the result side, what and all which are going to announce their side means. See, today's one includes Bajaj Financial Services, Vedanta. Yeah, this and all yesterday's one only. Just a minute. For the today's result, I will be giving the correct data. Somewhat it collapsed with the older one. The data actually got collapsed with the earlier one we have provided. It may not be a good one for the listeners. See, today's one actually Hindustan Unilever, Adani Ports, Adani Enterprises, Bajaj Financial Services as stated earlier, Cholamandalam Investment, Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders, Indus Star Limited, IDBI Bank, National Aluminium Company, Laurus Labs, Sona BLW, and Central Bank, ACC, Kajaria Ceramics, Dr. Lalpath Laboratories, and few more also there who are all announcing their results today. Really feeling regret for the data under the quarterly earnings side. We have provided the yesterday's one that was a mistake probably done by us. So these are all in the way of results announcement stocks what we have discussed now. So thank you for your participation in today's one. We'll be meeting again in the same pre-market outlook discussion Monday, because tomorrow it is holiday for the May 1, Maharashtra Day. Thank you. Wishing everyone to have a good day. I think some queries for IRM Energy. Just a minute, sir. I'll review it. We assume that you are already holding the stock in your holdings, and the IRM Energy currently having the bullish trend, which may be getting disturbed if the high of yesterday's one, 366, not breached out or not crossed. If it is not crossing, you can somewhat book the profit if you are having. Otherwise, in the retracement activities, if any happens towards the 340 to 330, between this range, you can expect some retracement that will be helping to accumulate further. There you can also do the same for the same target. So it is better to reduce some portion of your shares under this IRM Energy stock and enjoy the profit, because the yesterday's one may not be having a chance for today reaching high. If it is not breaching, you can get the signal like it may be easily breaching the low also, yesterday's low. So that only we are making you aware to book some portion of your profits and keep the rest for the next resistance. If more above the 366 as yesterday's high happens, there you can slowly booking the rest of the portions. So that's it. We can now conclude today's one, and we'll be meeting again on Monday for the pre-market discussion. Thank you.